Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Hoxie, and I'm a student intern with the Rhode Island School of Social Work at Rhode Island College. I'm also doing my internship over at the Integrated Behavioral Health Program at Thunder Miss Health Center in Woonsocket. And I'm really just here to kind of talk to everyone about self-care. I'm a parent of three girls, which is very, very crazy. I'm sure you're all experiencing many different things through this pandemic. The balance of doing work and school and kind of creating your home to be a school and a gym and a workplace has been so difficult for everyone. And so really what I want to focus on is tonight is really just focusing on the self-care of parents. This has been a really difficult year. I think that we really just need to focus on self-compassion for ourselves. I think a lot of times we have that parent guilt that goes along with, making sure that our children are very happy and healthy. And sometimes we can pull away from who we are and really take care of our needs. So that's why I'm here today to kind of just bring in the perspective of being a parent and also being somebody from a clinical perspective that can kind of give some insight and hopefully some strategies that you can use throughout your life. So we're going to get started. So today we're going to talk about self-care. So what does that mean to you? So during the conversation, I really want you to think about what is your self-care routine? Do you have a routine? I think before COVID-19, maybe our routine was going to the gym and, maybe getting our hair done and getting facials. And I just want to let you know that that is truly not the all of self-care. Self-care is so much more. And I really want to just delve deep into that tonight and kind of just tell you about the different types of self-care. And there's a lot of things that I'm sure that you're already doing that you just weren't aware of being self-care. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the different types of self-care. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about each one. And then we're going to work on some strategies that you can use with nothing in your house, just like some few items that you have that you can grab from around the house. You can do them anywhere and everywhere that are going to just kind of help you to stay grounded. And if you're having feelings of worry and anxiety during this time, are really going to help to focus on those. So there's so many different types of self-care. So as you can see the graphic here, there's physical, there's emotional, there's social, spiritual, personal, space, financial, and work. So tonight we're not going to focus on all of those different ones. What we're going to really focus on is the ones that I feel are most pertinent to most parents. So we're going to start off by talking a little bit about physical self-care, okay? So physical self-care can be a lot of different things. So there's been a lot of research around physical activity, and physical activity can be taking a walk. It could be doing housework. It doesn't have to be going to the gym and, going to a specific, class. It could be just exerting energy, like hiking or being outside or walking upstairs. So there's been a lot of research around physical activity being able to decrease depression, anxiety, and stress and tension. Also, exercise is a good release for toxins related to stress, like cortisol. It releases endorphins. So it could be anything that is exercise to you? For me, I do not like exercise. Exercise is probably my arch enemy. But, I find joy in things like going outside and walking and doing like light yoga or doing something called progressive muscle relaxation. Those are all physical self care. The other thing that you might not consider is eating. Sometimes we go through the day and we are so busy that we take care of our children's needs, but we're not taking care of our own. So, are you eating on a regular basis? Are you sleeping on a regular basis? Our sometimes self care is just getting in the shower for the day, putting on a new clean pair of clothes, or a clean pair of yoga pants in some instances, you know, and also like validating your role, all the roles that you have. So as a parent, you have so many hats that you wear. You're a parent, you're an employee, you could be a student, you could be a friend, you could be a child. There's so many hats that we wear, and I feel that during this pandemic, it has really kind of enmeshed all these roles that we carry. So I want to really focus on validating ourselves and doing all the things that we do and having some self-compassion for ourselves. So, some psychological self care, maybe being part of a support group. We can't go out. There's a lot of COVID restrictions, but there's a lot of access to support groups online. Also at Thunder Mist Health Center, we're doing a lot of telebehavioral health. So, we're interacting with patients on, ways over the internet or through phone calls. So if you feel like that may be helpful, that's something that you may want to reach out to. Also, asking for people for help. And I know from my own perspective, this has been a really difficult thing for me to be able to do, to ask for help. But, this is such a difficult time that it's okay to reach out to others and ask for support because at some point, they'll want to be able to reach out to you as well. Also, right now the weather is getting better, like participating in a hobby that you like. Maybe you enjoy gardening. Maybe it's artwork or cooking or crafting. Start getting involved in those activities. And when I say hobbies, a lot of people say, oh, I don't have time for hobbies. I don't have time in my schedule. And I want you to know, even if you take 10 minutes for yourself each day, you will find such a difference in the way that you interact with others, the way that you feel about yourself. So just taking those 10 minutes, and if you take those 10 minutes and then you realize you can free up some more time, that's wonderful too. So also reflecting, right? So when we're reflecting on things that happen, we're building our awareness of ourselves, right? So if we're taking into consideration that, we're reflecting on our behaviors, maybe we are irritable because we are really impacted by stress. Understanding that things may be frustrating, you may not be able to see into the future and understand what is going on, what will happen. It's that feeling of the unknown. So kind of just reflecting on those thoughts and feelings that are taking place. Another helpful thing is journaling. So just getting a notebook and just writing, just free writing. Even if you're not a writer, just getting out the way that you feel sometimes helps to move it from your thoughts, but move it to a visual aspect. And then I love this graphic right here. So emotional self-care. So, giving ourselves some self compassion. Before the pandemic, we were superheroes, we were multitaskers, we were able to do so many things. And with this pandemic, it has caused a lot of stress. It has caused a lot of financial stress. We haven't been able to be around our loved ones. Our children are feeling stressed. Maybe they're not able to go to school. So, with all of these things going on, we have to be able to really validate how we feel and really just be able to be there for ourselves. Also, affirmation. So, telling yourself every morning, I got this. I can do this. I'm smart, I'm hardworking, I'm a good parent. That one reigns really true to me because I think that sometimes we just feel like we're not being the best parent that we can. And again, there's that self compassion that we have to have for ourselves. And then practicing forgiveness, not only forgiveness to others, but forgiveness to ourselves. Sometimes we might make a decision that we feel later is not the best, but just being able to forgive ourselves. And also just having opportunities where you can laugh and feel grateful and joyful and peace. Just interacting with friends, whether it's outside or it's over Zoom or over Skype, just keep those relationships continuing. And then there's spiritual self care. And a lot of people think like spiritual is about like organized religion. So spiritual can mean many things. It could mean meditation, it could be taking a minute to kind of take in what's going on in that moment. It could be yoga. A lot of people feel spiritually connected in nature. Some people feel a spiritual connection just when they're able to connect with others. Being in a sacred space, and that sacred space could be a church or it could be outside. It could be in a space in their house where they feel calm and safe. And then also through prayer. And then there's personal self care. So, what do we want for ourselves? What do we want in life? Kind of thinking about what are those short term and long term goals that we want for ourselves? Meeting with a friend, having coffee with a friend, relaxing, just laying down and relaxing. When was the last time that you did that? Spending time with family. Also, a lot of people find that personal self care can really be effective in expressive arts like drawing and painting and crafting. So, really just focusing on what you want in life and then kind of make some visual reminders. So, a lot of people use something called a vision board. So, maybe just putting up, like, you want to be healthier, you want to be happier, you want to be able to be outside gardening. So, cut out pictures, put those goals on paper. When you wake up in the morning, you see those goals, and that will make you more focused on achieving those goals. And then workplace and professional self-care. So this can be, this could be your professional life as a stay-at-home mom. This could be your professional life as being a stay-at-home dad or working in the field or doing at-home work or doing in-person work. So really what we need to do is get support from other people. So if you are a stay-at-home parent, getting support from other parents, setting boundaries, saying, you know what, I can't do that. That's something that I can't commit to right now, and that's okay. And it's hard sometimes to set those limits and say no to people. But if you have that intuition saying, this might not be a good idea, this might be something that will cause more stress, it's okay to say no. And sometimes just saying to people, you know what, I can't do that right now, but maybe in a few weeks, I'll be able to help you. So that kind of takes the pressure off. Taking vacation time, taking sick time, and taking a lunch break is so important. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to focus on some breathing techniques, which are really, really easy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sit in a comfortable position. For a lot of people, I just suggest sitting in a comfortable position, trying to place your feet on the floor, putting your hands on your lap, either face down or face up. And then really to do that diaphragmatic breathing, you are going to breathe in through your nose and you're going to breathe out through your mouth. So we're just going to go through one of these, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to count. So we're going to inhale. I'm going to do a count. We're going to hold it for 4. We're going to exhale for 4. And then we're going to repeat it. So why don't we do this twice? So this is definitely something that can help if you've had a hard day, if it's been stressful for you to try to get to this meet today. Let's try to incorporate this. So start by, if you want to open your eyes or close your eyes, whatever you're more comfortable with. We're going to inhale through our nose. So we're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. So this is a strategy that you can use pretty easily any time of day. You could be waiting at the grocery line and just feel like, you're so stressed. You have to get to the next, you have to get somewhere else. You're late. You can just take these breathing techniques and you can utilize them at any time. So we're also going to do a grounding technique. So this is also becoming mindful. So we're going to talk a little bit about mindfulness and how we can this is really like a beginners in mindfulness. So we can do it several ways. Some people choose to do it with items that they find around their house and maybe they keep in a box so they can specifically have these items. So it's maybe something that you enjoy to smell, you enjoy to taste, you have something that's fuzzy that you want to feel. There's specific things that you may want to look at. So for today's purposes, what I'm going to do is just really give you ideas of what you can do. So you can either be sitting indoors, but if you've been sitting indoors all day and you are feeling an increase in anxiety and stress, I do encourage you to go outside. Okay, so just a different change of scenery can really be such a benefit. So here we're going to pretend like we've been inside all day, like mostly it's been for COVID-19. So we're going to pretend that we are going outside on a sunny day, okay? So we are going to focus on 5 things that we can see. And then as you see these things, I want you to label them in your mind. So I'm going to go along these things. So I can see a tree, a rock, a leaf, water, a flower. Okay, then we're going to focus on 4 things that we can feel. And you can actively move about while you're doing this, but you may feel the wind blowing on your skin. You may feel the sun on your face. You may feel the clothes on your skin. You may bend down and feel the grass. The next one is going to be hearing. What can you hear? So you're outside. Maybe you hear birds chirping. Maybe you hear water flowing. Maybe you hear car horns or kids playing or the wind blowing. Then we're going to focus on what we can smell. And sometimes this can be difficult, but if you really focus in, sometimes you can pick up on different smells. So maybe you smell a flower that's outside. Maybe the grass has just been cut and you can smell that fresh cut grass. Or maybe you're indoors and you have a candle, like, this one right here that you can smell. Or maybe you can smell the lotion or the perfume that you had put on earlier that day, or the shampoo that you had put in your hair. And the last one can be a little difficult, but I'm going to ask you to be a little creative. So it's one thing that you can taste. So it could be toothpaste, it could be a mint, it could be a piece of candy. So a lot of times what I like to do is you can do mindfulness with just a piece of candy, right? So you can look at the piece of candy so you can see what it looks like, what it feels like, right? You can open it. You can hear what it sounds like, right? You can smell it. And then you can taste it. So this is a mindful activity that you can do that helps to ground, and it also helps you to become mindful of your senses. So gratitude is another huge, huge thing that I like to talk about. So in this world that we feel like there's so much going on that, we turn on the news every day and there's just so many negative things happening. And, in the beginning of COVID-19, we thought about all the things that we had lost, like, opportunities to go to events and the ability to be out without masks and, the ability to not be able to see friends and family. So I really enjoy this, and, I can show you various options. So this is just a regular old notebook. You can get one at the dollar store if you specifically want something. I encourage you to get a notebook and put it by your bed. And every night before you go to bed, I want you to write something in here that you're grateful for. It could be one thing. It could be 2 things. And it could be not anything spectacular like, oh, today I was able to, go to the zoo with my children. It could be, today the sun came out. I had a good cup of coffee. I showered today. I got dressed. So it could be any of those things that you may want to do. There's also a lot of different ones out there that you can buy that are specific to gratitude that you can also buy. You can do that as well. But a regular old notebook, and you can put the date and you can put some things, and it's kind of nice to go back and to be able to reflect on what you've written in the past. And there's been a ton of research around gratitude, and it really supports your health. It shows that people who write gratitude daily are they are happier. They may feel more happiness, they may feel more optimistic, and it also makes you more resilient when you come into contact with any kind of stress. It also helps you to sleep longer and better, because when you're going to bed and you're focusing on things that you're grateful for, it really just sets a stage for you to have a good night's sleep. So now we're just going to go to questions, and we're going to see if anyone may have some questions. Okay, and I'm going to pose a question to everyone to see. So what things have you been using for self-care during the pandemic? Is it going for walks? Is it getting dressed? Is it taking a shower? What are some of the things that you've been doing? And if you can't think of these now, I can share with you some things that some people that I know and patients that I've worked with have been utilizing. So a lot of people have been doing nature walks. They've been going outside. They have been starting to read more, right? Read more books. Some people have been trying to just do things within their house. I think a lot of people are starting to cook and to bake and to, do things, play board games, doing things within the house, making home improvements. A lot of people have been really focusing on, we used to call it a staycation when it was fun, but it's really become a quarantine staycation where we're finding things that maybe we once loved to do, but just kind of became distracted because, a lot of other things were going on. So another one is, what have we talked about tonight that you feel like you are already doing? What are some things that you feel like you may incorporate from what we talked about tonight? Or maybe some self-care things that you were doing that you didn't even realize were self-care. A lot of people think that going to physical appointments, going to physicals, going to the dentist, getting blood work, that's all self-care. That's taking care of your physical self. So I just want to end tonight by saying thank you for giving me this opportunity to be able to do this. And also, I have a resource sheet for people who are interested. So there's a lot of resources out there. And in this resource sheet, I provided all the information from tonight. So the square breathing, the 5 senses grounding technique, and then also some information around gratitude, and then just kind of some prompts for you to figure out, like, I'm not sure what I'm going to write, like, what could I write about? Just some prompts to get you started. There's also a lot of YouTube. If you go into YouTube and you type in guided meditation, there's so many different ones that'll come up for free. They have ones for sleep, for anxiety, for stress, for depression, anything that you could think of. They're really great strategies to use, especially at nighttime, if you're having a lot of restless sleep. The other ones are apps that you can download onto your phone. One of them is Headspace, there's Calm. Those are really great apps that you can go through and use guided meditation. Because I don't know about you, I cannot sit still in my own thoughts with no talking for 5 to 10 minutes. So I feel like guided meditation has really helped me to focus. And meditation is all about thoughts coming into your head, acknowledging the thoughts, and letting the thoughts float away, and kind of just re-engaging in breathing. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this tonight. I know I have. I hope this has been helpful. And thank you so much.